Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bubble Pod. You might have missed us last week because poor Callum was unwell and we had to cancel our recording. So great to have you back, Callum.
It's lovely to be back talking to you, Manni.
Yeah, he didn't want to infect me. Some people that know my journey and have been following the Bubble Pod for a while will know that, I've shared my journey in terms of how, my kidneys failed. I've had a transplant. So we tried to stay, if you're ill, basically stay away from me, is the rule we have at Bubble Digital, because obviously immunosuppressed don't really have the immune system to fight anything, especially as COVID and stuff's going around. And flu and stuff going around. But, Callum's back. So if you missed out and there was no episode last week, we apologize, but we're back. And we're back with today's episode, which is about Black Friday digital marketing tips. You'll be listening to this when it comes out on the 7th of November. We always record a week before. And that'll be November. Today's Halloween. So spooky, spooky, spooky in terms of what's going on. But before we begin, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hello YouTube. Always don't forget to click on the bell notification. Episodes come out every Tuesday. We're back on track. One missed episode, but we apologize to our regular listeners. And so does Callum. So, Black Friday. All right, let's just get the feel of the room. Do you do most of your Christmas shopping or seasonal shopping on Black Friday, Callum?
I have never done any form of shopping on Black Friday. I'm one of those people. It's not that I don't agree with it. If you can get a good deal, then great. But I don't get the whole hoo-ha as such with, when you see pictures of people running into shops and trying to grab a TV.
Yeah.
Just be civilized. Just be a nice human being. Go into the shop as normal. Go and pick up that TV that you want, and you'll still get a good deal at the end of the day. Whereas I don't like the whole, craziness of it, really.
Josh?
I'm actually a bit too impulsive with my buying, so I can't genuinely wait for one day. If I see something, I'll probably forget about it, so I just buy it there and then.
So you're an impulse buyer. So you're catered towards what I call Amazon, which is the one-click buy system. And this is why Amazon's done so well as a brand. And I know this podcast about Amazon, but it's that, swipe to buy instantly. They've made the checkout process for impulse buying so good. And it's good, actually, kind of like you're not impulse or influenced by marketing as much. But it is a key period. And Black Friday is essentially the first Friday following Thanksgiving. That's how it always works. It's basically notoriously known for slash prices, especially for e-commerce, small bricks and mortar stores that want to, get customers in, get rid of a big chunk of their stock before they restock for that whole Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year, inventory element. So, and they say that Black Friday normally kicks off the holiday shopping season. And it is true. I mean, I do keep an eye out for a few Black Friday sales, but I got some really important stats, which is why this podcast today focused on it. 31%, and especially if you're an e-commerce brand, it's really good. B2B brands that are listening, you're probably thinking, what impact does it have? But you can still do things. So here's some actual Black Friday stats. 31% of Black Friday shoppers start early. So timing can make all the difference with what you do with your ads and where you place them. Remember, you can do time of day placements with your ads. Consider that at this seasonal time, media spend is going to be rife. Everyone's competing for the same audiences. Bids are going to be inflated. It's almost like an inflation day for digital marketing spend, really. So 1 in 4 shoppers will hit the stores between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Friday, the 24th of November, I think it is, this year in 2023. 31% of customers started their Black Friday spree on Thursday. So even though Black Friday is on the Friday, people start early in the week. Now you see week-long Black Friday sales on websites and stuff. So remember, 31% started on Thursday, while 50% aim to begin shopping for their gifts midnight at 5 a.m. Midnight and 5 a.m. on Friday. So with that in mind, you've got to consider when are the busy periods. The savvy, engaged shoppers, they're in early. They want those key sales. They know that certain items are going to be limited to a certain number, so they want to get in, they want to get the items, they want to get out, and they want to feel like they've made a huge, huge saving. So it's not, surprising that, you get so much traffic at different times of day. So if you're an e-commerce store, just bear those times in mind. People will be up early to hit Black Friday sales before they go into work. So your ads needs to be placed on a little sooner if you are doing that. Take that into consideration. My advice would be look at your Google Analytics for last year. Look at when purchases were made on your store, maybe a few days leading up to it and after it. Have a look at when your peak periods were. Then maybe focus on targeting at those specific times. So Adobe Analytics showed some really good stats in terms of how shoppers spent. It was $9.12 billion on Black Friday in 2022. That was a 2.3% increase on the previous year, and it's expected to continue again for 2023. So you've got to already make provisions for extra stock and extra customers and handle extra customers on your website. The last thing you want is your website not to be able to handle an extra, 10,000 customers on that particular day, and it crash and be slow and not be able to convert because you're just going to lose out on so much, order value, revenue, and you're just going to have a high abandoned cart rate on your site. But the first thing I want to highlight is the biggest mistake all e-commerce brands make. Do you know what big mistake all e-commerce brands make when doing Black Friday?
Is it not so much the technology side of things in terms of website speed? Is it more that they don't help navigate the customer through the experience? So
I like where you're thinking, Callum, in terms of elements, but no, the biggest mistake e-commerce brands make is they focus too much on new customers and not the existing customers. Because it's all about sale. People through the door. But, offer your long-time customers exclusive deals. Cater to them first. Don't be going out to everyone. Don't neglect the people that have been supporting you through the cost of living crisis. Brand advocates support us of you all year round, been buying from you. Make sure you cater to them first. They should be the first part of your strategy. Anything seasonal should be, how do we cater to our existing customers that have bought from us year on year, throughout the year, different key periods, come back to us, are loyal, subscribed customers. They should get exclusive deals that should only be to them. And, there's things you can do with that. And I advise my clients this as well in terms of what they should do. So the first thing you can do is email marketing. Doesn't really cost you anything. You can get MailChimp subscription to do stuff like this. So email marketing, take that data, the email data of customers that bought last year, and start already remarketing to them. Start targeting to them with email campaigns to drive their interest back into the sale. Make it exclusive. You bought from us last year. As a result, we're going to give you an extra percentage off, or we're going to give you a free gift or an incentive, or whatever it is you decide to do if you come back and buy this year as well from us. Or and segment them via different customers. Take their data, put it on paid social, and give those customers an offer saying, "Oh, you are a regular, customer of ours. We're going to give you an exclusive offer. Here's what we think." And look at look at what your best selling products are. What's going to be of interest to those customers. Focus on your regular shoppers, your existing customers first as a priority. Show them that you care, really. Show them that they're of value to you as a customer. Do retargeting campaigns, upload that data to stuff, and then you can create lookalike audiences from that. And you can match potential new customers that show, that kind of savvy shopping trend as well. So biggest mistake e-commerce brands make is they care too much about just customers coming through. They don't really realize who their customers are. Are you trying to value the one customer that's only going to come and spend it with you one time in a year and just make a huge saving? Or should you cater towards a customer that buys from you when the sales aren't on? Long-term customer, long-term value, brand loyalist, is out there promoting you to all their friends and family. Give them something special, make them advocates of your brand. Because by doing that, the extension of everything that happens from that is just so good, because they're going to say, "Oh, I got this great deal." Give them a referral code to give to their family and friends. There's more you can do in terms of attracting your existing customers, and that costs nothing. We're not even talking about spending any ad spend yet. We're talking about basic email campaigns, which aren't difficult to do. So that's the first place where you would start with. Secondly is there's multiple tactics you can employ with Black Friday. It's a key shopping time. There's a lot of channels you want to do, but I'm not going to go into like channels, because if you want to know what channels to use and what, platforms to be on, just have a look at our last year's podcast, which catered towards which channels and strategies you want to do. However, this time I'm coming up with things I suggest you should do around Black Friday. Take into consideration where we are, the statistics I've already shared with you, and that we are in a cost of living crisis. And although the stats on Adobe Analytics saying they're going to continue to spend more this year, that I feel like most customers will do most of their Christmas shopping around Black Friday, and Christmas will take a big hit in terms of, shopping power and spend, because customers will feel like they're going to get more of a value, more of a deal at this time, as opposed to closer to Christmas or post-Christmas in terms of Boxing Day sales. But we actually are going to be talking about Christmas marketing in the next podcast and how that differentiates from Black Friday. So here's some tactics that I suggest. First is minimum spend rewards. So if you want to achieve good ROI or return on ad spend or return on investment from your marketing activity, what you could do is once you've spent all that money bidding and driving, spending money on impressions and clicks through different multiple digital channels to get people to your website, is you could encourage more savings with more they spend on the website. So, spend £100, get X amount off, spend £150, get X amount off, etc. Domino's do this, they're thinking in general on their app, when you spend X amount, you get 40% off. It just encourages you to end up buying more pizzas from Domino's and getting more sides and stuff. But it's a good tactic, and it's a good tactic if you're only going to do it as a one-off, just to get that basket. Because the last thing, to get that basket value up, the last thing you want to do is you don't want to be spending, £10, £15 cost per acquisition for one customer who's only going to spend 20, 30 quid. But if you are going to end up spending, let's say 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds to get a customer, buying something on your website, you want to make sure it's at least 4, 5, 6, 7 times, the value of what you spent in terms of return on investment. So if it's costing you 20 quid to get a customer through to purchase, not just to the website, but, cost per acquisition, then you want to make sure that customer's spending a good £100 on your website. So that's a good, or £80 at the very least for a 4 ROAS. And that seasonal period, you expect ROAS to be a lot higher, around about 6, 7, 8%. So you want to make sure that you offer like rewards at spend levels, which could work. Another tip I would suggest is a gift with each purchase, or, with key items. And again, you could do that spend levels. Instead of giving money off at spend levels, you could give hampers or gifts or elements that you can achieve. A lot of people do this in general, but you could do it as part of one of your hot selling cheap products. If you spend a certain amount, you're going to gift it for free. Or you could offer key free items to go with certain bundles. So this is where you really got to start looking at your inventory, starting looking at what, packages and bundles you're going to offer to your customers. What other things could you throw in? If you ever go on the Amazon website, when you buy something, it says, customers, it comes up with a package of what you could buy it with. So if you buy, let's say, I don't know, you buy an Xbox, I'll say buy this Xbox stand and this extra controller and this headset and get it all for X amount. They're the kind of things you should be doing. But they also say you can get a free gift. So sometimes when you're on stuff like Uber Eats and you spend a certain amount, a certain place will give you a free gift or basically a free drink that sends it out to as an incentive to come back again and again and again. These are different to obviously e-commerce, but I'm just giving examples of how those things work and how you could use that as part of your strategy, as part of your ads, and promote that as part of your ads on social media, your video content, and what you're creating. Other things you need to really focus on is abandoned carts. So your abandoned cart rate will be the highest at this point, I expect, than any other point in the year. Because a lot of people will be testing the waters. They want to see if you're doing any abandoned cart marketing tactics, such as you add a product to you add a lot of products to the basket, you spend a lot of time on the website, and then you look to leave, then normally you have a pop-up that comes up saying, don't leave, here's an extra £10 or £5 voucher, apply it to your basket. Customers are savvy at this time. So your cart rate will be high, your cart value will be high. It's up to you to decide on what tactics you can use to get that over the line. Remember, you don't just have the Friday to convert the customer, you have the rest of the days afterwards, follow up with retargeting and email campaigns in terms of, driving that, identifying customers. Personalization's really, really good at that point. That's what Amazon does really, really well on their website. They personalize in terms of they know what you've bought, when you bought, or what you've been viewing and what you're not been viewing. So incentivize people that are, abandoning their carts, because if you've already spent £15 to get the customer to that level, what's an extra £5 to get the £100 over the line? Yes, it eats into your margin, but you're not doing this all the time. You're doing it for a specific key seasonal e-commerce event where, everybody is in market to buy, to give them the reason to buy. And unfortunately, it's only incentives like this that, spend rewards or gifts or added value when they're leaving their carts that does it. If you're going to be focusing on social media marketing in terms of organic social, then my advice would be to make sure you're using key hashtags. And the two key hashtags to use, the most popular ones, are Black Friday shopping or Black Friday deals. They're the two ones you want to make sure you're on, because that's what people are going to be searching for. Make sure you got some really good content on your social media platform. It's gone up there for a long while. Try and get engagement. The better engagement, the more likely when people are searching those hashtags that you're likely to appear, whether that's on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, or X, as they call it now, whatever platform that is. And incentivize further with referral codes. Remember, we said at the start, Black Friday kind of kicks off the seasonal holiday shopping spree. Not everybody's going to do all their shopping in one day. Some people will do. Some people won't. Some people will get key high value items at a discount rate, but then do a lot of their customers shopping later on. That's where referral codes are a key tactic in terms of what you can do. So if they've already bought, give them an email saying, thank you for buying. Here's a code to get a discount from now, valid from now to the 24th of, December. Referral codes or you saved, share with your family, and you'll get an incentive if they buy from you using this code. Referral codes are great because you've already spent the money on advertising. And remember, you would have paid inflated prices for your advertising on that day as well. So the question is, how do you maximize the return on investment? What other tactics do you employ to ensure that they, pass that referral code on to other customers or their friends or the family, share on social media, etc. I just got this for a good bargain. Can't wait. Already ordered. Don't forget you can go on stuff. Incentivize, get people to organically start sharing, posting, sharing codes. So they go to the websites. That then becomes essentially free traffic. It reduces your cost per acquisition when people are referring that. So you need to be looking at Google Analytics in terms of how much people are going directly to your website, how many people are coming through referrals or through emails and stuff like that to see which channels are working and what's working and what's not working. So finally, they're the key things. I'm just going to quickly summarize because I've gone through a lot there. Remember, Black Friday is the first Friday after Thanksgiving. 31% of, shoppers start early. Timings is key. $9.12 billion worth of spent in 2022. That's an increase of 2.3% year on year. The biggest mistake most e-commerce brands make is that don't focus on their loyal long-term customers, reward them first with exclusive offers separate to those that visit the website as a one-off. I give you some good tactics that you could employ on your website as part of your marketing. But finally, what I'm going to say is have fun with it. Everybody will be targeting the same audience, bidding for the same things, putting out offers. The question is, how are you going to stand out in the feed or with your creative? Have fun, be quirky, be A/B test different messaging, A/B test different creative ads. What's going to make your offer special, your offer stand out other than just price, because everybody's going to be focused on price and incentivize. That's why it's called Black Friday sales, because it's all those savvy, engaged shoppers that want the good deal. Be a little bit creative, stand out, do other tactics. Now, it's not my job to tell you how that should be done. But your brand, your customers inside out better. So, you could do memes, or you could do, something funny. Like Callum, you talked about the image of someone coming in and grabbing that TV. That's iconic, really, with Black Friday. They always use that one when that, people run into that store and just go for the TV's items. You could do some fun stuff around that because people go on social media for fun, engaging video content. But remember, that's just an example. That's just a potential idea. There's no guarantee it's going to work, but A/B tests have different ads running with different creative, different messagings. And naturally, based on engagement and, conversions, the algorithms will take over, start pushing out the ads that are going to, deliver the best results and the best performance overall. So they're my Black Friday marketing tips. I hope that's been useful, insightful. It's going to come around the corner very, very quickly. It's not too late to make sure you get on top of these things. You should already have some strategies in place by now. If not, it's not too late, and start thinking of maximizing revenue in that period. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. It's great to be back after a little bit of a break. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And remember, do send out all your questions to @BobbleDigital, taggers, our social handles. Use hashtag Mr. Bobble, hashtag AskBobble, and hashtag BobblePod for all inquiries and quotes and comments that you take from our podcast and snippets. And we look forward to speaking on our next podcast next week, which will be talking about what we call a Bobble Christmas Carol. So what you can be doing around Christmas with your advertising. A bit of a different approach, different statistics, but we're very seasonally focused right now for these next 2 episodes. Thank you very much.